The Harvard Business School professor Michael Porter is famous for saying that good strategy is understanding what you're not going to do. Being able to identify an opportunity that is not a part of your core competencies or not in alignment with your mission and larger vision is going to help you narrow your focus. Michael Porter was one of the original strategic management thinkers that got corporations thinking about strategy in a systematic way. He proposed that strategy was broken down into two competitive advantages. The first is competing on cost. When we look at companies that excel in this space, it's easy to understand how they're able to gain a competitive advantage over their peers. Walmart, IKEA, and Spear are just a few examples of corporations that appeal to the budget-conscious customer. Whether you're looking at groceries, furniture, or travel, these organizations provide good options at a price point that's often far below the competition. These organizations position themselves as providing the maximum value as perceived by the customer. This does not imply low quality, though. Another approach is gaining a competitive advantage through differentiation. Differentiation essentially means that you're providing a good or service that's uniquely different from what your competition's offering. This goes beyond the physical characteristics and service attributes to encompass everything that impacts a customer's perception of value. Let's take Lush, for example. The cosmetics company Lush has created a unique competitive advantage by creating a line of products that are made out of completely natural ingredients. Also, the ingredients are ethically sourced, and every single product is handmade. The person that hand makes the product signs the packaging and also indicates the expiration date. If you had gone back to the time before Lush existed, you might think that having an expiration date on cosmetics would be something that customers wouldn't want. Instead, what this company found, by talking to all sorts of cosmetic users and non-cosmetic users, was that there was unmet demand for real ingredients when it came to the products that people were putting on their skin. And an expiration date is evidence of just that. Their success over the past few decades is indicative of the power of differentiation. Along similar lines, Etsy was the first major retail outlet to connect consumers with artists and creators at scale. Etsy helps sellers sell handmade crafts and earn a living while helping buyers find one-of-a-kind products. This unique model led to massive growth at Etsy. It started as a simple website in 2005 and is now listed as a public company with hundreds of millions of dollars in total funding. Apple's integration of products across their platform and aesthetic design similarly created a competitive advantage based on differentiation. While these models helped organizations to create clarity about how to compete against the existing competition, our thought process has changed in the recent years. Once you've established a singular competitive advantage in a market with dense competition, you can be pretty sure that somebody will be nipping at your heels to outperform you on either cost or differentiation, which is absolutely exhausting to try to keep ahead of. While it's still critically important to identify opportunities that are not in alignment with your mission or not a part of your core competency, cost and differentiation are not mutually exclusive strategic opportunities. Instead, we want to focus on value innovation to the customer, which may create opportunities for differentiation at low cost. Value innovation is the simultaneous pursuit of differentiation through buyer value and low cost, and is the cornerstone of market-creating strategy. Cost savings are made by eliminating and reducing the factors an industry competes on. In addition, buyer value is lifted by raising and creating elements the industry has never offered. We'll discuss this more detail in our lecture on Blue Ocean strategy, but we'll take some time now to understand how and why this is different from traditional competitive advantage thinking. Value innovation is achieved only when the whole system of utility, price to the customer, and cost to the organization is in alignment. The authors of Blue Ocean strategy encourage us to challenge the old cost-value trade-off by working to answer the following questions, referred to as the 4 actions framework, and often shortened to eliminate, reduce, raise, and create, or ERRC. 1. Which factors does the industry take for granted that should be eliminated? 2. Which factors should be reduced well below the industry standard? 3. Which factors can be raised well above the industry standard? And 4. What factors should be created that the industry has never offered? There are no shortage of templates available online for you and your team to use as you think through this matrix for your product or service offering. When doing this, though, it's really important here to ask and answer all of the questions. A common pitfall for many companies is only focusing on the raising and creating aspects. which is almost always going to raise costs and end in over-engineered products and services, which brings us back to Michael Porter's famous saying, good strategy is understanding what you're not going to do. Answering these questions is no easy task, though. It requires a talented and supportive team to thoroughly scrutinize every factor the industry is competing on. This will help you uncover the implicit assumptions you make when competing. Which brings us to an important distinction: value innovation versus tech innovation. Technological innovations do not create new markets. They might enable a new way of doing a process or address a pain point, but they do not ensure commercial success. Let's just take the Segway's highly anticipated arrival in 2001 that failed to generate sales and ended with a Segway plant retiring production in 2020. Value innovation should address three important questions. First, how does the offering make customer life easy, simple, productive, convenient, and stylish? Second, how does the offer reduce buyer risk? This can be financial, physical, emotional, or reputational. And third, how does the offer improve social consciousness, something which deeply impacts customer value? Let's think through this some more in the next lecture as we dive into Blue Ocean strategy.